Hey, how's it going, everyone? So, this is going to be a quick guide on how to succeed on Jurassic World Evolution 2's challenge mode, specifically on the Canada level. I'm going to make a guide for each level. This is going to be the first one, starting off at the Canada level on Jurassic difficulty. So hopefully this guide is able to help you guys out. I'm not going to go into super depth on like literally everything you need to do. I'm going to assume if you're playing on Jurassic difficulty, you already have a pretty good grasp of how to play the game. This is just going to be some like quick tips, especially starting off, because starting off is by far the hardest part. So let's jump right into it and get going.
You made it! Welcome to Canada.
Alrighty, right off the bat here, as soon as we jump in, this little thing's going to pop up. We'll get that out of here and immediately pause it. Every second that you have the game not paused, you're losing more money. So make sure you have it paused when you're doing anything. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to jump in here and we're going to make a science center. Nothing in this one starts unlocked, so you're going to have to research literally everything. And one of the biggest things is we're going to have to prioritize what we research. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to start making our first enclosure. Now what I want you to do is go ahead and make this enclosure fairly large, and you'll see why in a little bit. But essentially, people may not know this, but there's a free dinosaur on this map. You can actually get a Brachiosaurus for free. Just a couple steps you need to do in order to get it. So go ahead and make this first enclosure larger than you would expect, because you're going to need a lot of space for that Brachiosaurus. And that Brachiosaurus is going to be key to actually succeeding on this park at the very beginning. It's really going to be what helps get you going. All right, now that your enclosure is complete, let's throw down a backup generator. Kind of throw it in the center here and make sure it's touching your fence. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to make a hatchery. And you can throw this hatchery anywhere you want. I just kind of throw it down here out of the way. You don't need this hatchery to be in the radius for the backup generator, because anything that's touching an electrified fence will be electrified. So that includes your viewing galleries as well. So you don't necessarily need this to be right in the circle. As soon as the fence is complete, it will power the hatchery. So we'll go ahead and build that. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do, we're going to come in here to research, go to power, and research improved power technology. This is going to give you access to the small power station. The small power station is going to absolutely save you, because those backup generators cost a fortune to refill. Alright, so my fence is finished, and you can see my hatchery is now powered. So we're going to come in here, and we're going to make some Struthiomimus. We don't need to modify them in any way, we just keep them base and just throw these things out here. So we're just going to wait a couple seconds. There we are. Alright, so let's go ahead and incubate these. Don't really care about the traits whatsoever. We're just going to put them out because we just need dinosaurs in general. So we're just going to go ahead and incubate all 3 of those. Now eventually, I would recommend getting anywhere from like 7 to 10 of them. Basically make 2 batches of Struthiomimus, and you should be pretty well set. But yeah, anywhere from 7 to 10 Struthiomimus should be enough. Alright, so our next step here, we're going to go ahead, since we've researched it, we're going to get a small power station put down. So I'm just going to throw it over here. Doesn't really matter where you put it. You can put it wherever you want. Just make sure it's connected to a path, and make sure you have substations covering all of your buildings that you need. Alright, so our next step, we're going to come in here to attractions. In our research, we're going to research viewing gallery, because we need our guests to actually be able to see our dinosaurs. So let's get that researching. Okay, so our Struthiomimus are ready to come out now, so we're just going to go ahead and release these. Now, one thing I've seen people mess up on is they go crazy editing the terrain in their enclosure before looking to see what the dinosaurs actually need, and editing the terrain actually costs a lot of money. So wait until they come out, come over to their comfort tab, and actually modify it through the comfort tab. Put a little bit more water than they need, because we are going to be putting out some more of them. And when you come in here to give them their ground leaf that they're going to need, only give them enough to make them happy, plus just a little bit more to account for the fact that we're going to be making more of them, which we're going to go ahead and do now. Alright, so now that our viewing gallery's researched, let's come in here and research ranger and capture teams. This is going to be really important, because this is how we're actually going to go about getting our Brachiosaur. Plus, you're going to need these to do status checks on your dinosaurs to make sure your dinosaurs are comfortable and are healthy. So let's go ahead and get that going. And then let's go ahead and make sure our Struthiomimus are being incubated. Like I said, just select all of them. They're pretty cheap, and they're just going to help us out. The more we put out, the more rating we're going to have, and the more money we're going to make. Now, one thing we do need to do is come in here and go ahead and make our viewing gallery. Make sure that it's set up to where your dinosaur is going to be seen, obviously, and then connect it to a path. Simple as that. Alright, so now that our ranger and capture teams are researched, let's come in here and make a response facility. I like to put these in the center of my park, but you can kind of put these wherever you want. So just go ahead and build that. And then now we're going to come in here to research, and we're going to research a staff center. Now you should have a scientist that can research this on their own. If not, just put 2 on it. But go ahead and start researching that. And then you'll come in here to guest comfort, and go ahead and start researching your core guest buildings. So we'll get that going. Alright, so this step is huge right here. This is, once our response facility is complete, go ahead and take direct control of your capture team. And if you look at your compass up at the top, you'll see there's a logo up there with a dinosaur on it. Now what you're going to do is you're going to fly all the way over here. And so many people don't realize that this is here. So hopefully this, if anything, this part helps you out. So come over here. This Brachiosaurus right here. And then just go ahead and trank this guy. And you'll be able to put this guy in your park. So there we go. Alright. I like to pause it when I'm transporting these things. Just because it is such a long distance to click all the way back over here. Just saves a tiny little bit of time. There we go. So yeah, just transport this guy into your main enclosure.
What we have here is a Brachiosaurus.
Alright, so our next step here is we're going to start to set up our guest comfort things. First off, I'm going to make a hotel. Now, you can put this hotel wherever you want. I just kind of like to put them next to my enclosure so the guests in the hotels can see the dinosaurs. I'll be honest, I don't know if it actually helps anything other than visibility, but I usually go for it anyways. It's not that hard to put them next to them. So next we're going to go ahead and put a emergency shelter. So make sure your emergency shelter's down. Go ahead and throw down a bathroom, which, look at that perfect little, yeah, right there, perfect. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to make one small amenity of each. So food, drink, and gift shop. So let's go ahead and get those placed down. Now if you're getting this building constraints thing right here, sometimes what helps is to take it off the path just a little bit, rotate it back around. You'll see now it can go there. So just kind of get it to where it works. It might not be right against the path, and then you can just make a small little path there to connect it. It's annoying, but sometimes that's what you got to do. So we'll get our third one placed down here, a little gift shop. Having the same issue again. Just kind of make it work the best you can. And same deal here. Go ahead and put the path there. And we'll let those build. Alright, these have been made, and you might panic right off the bat because it looks like we're in negative profits. But don't worry about it. Give it a second, and it will, the game will register. It just takes a minute for the game to register. So we just wait, we wait. You can see it's already kind of coming up a little bit. And then, boom, there we go. So now all of a sudden that one's 30, and then it just jumped up. So the game finally registered, and we're making profit on this one. Alright, so when we're going through here and we're selecting these, one thing that people try to do is they try to like handpick what they're using and what modules they're using, and they try to match up those bars across the side. That is what you're supposed to do, but there's an easier way. So I'm going to show you that easier way now. When we come through here, you don't really even want to look at what necessarily you're clicking on the right. All you're going to be looking at is the profit section on the left over here. So when you go to click through here, I'm just going to configure what we're selling, and you can see whatever the 1,146 one is the one that's the most. So we're going to click on that. Didn't even look and see what it was. Apparently it's hats. So as we scroll down, 4,104. Okay, so that one is the most expensive. So yeah, we'll go ahead and click on that. And then let's see, if we go down 6,300, there was 2 of them. So you click on either one of the 6,300s, and that's how you maximize your profits. You don't even necessarily need to try to line up those bars. Just look as you're scrolling down and see which one gives you the most profit, and then just click on that one. That's going to be your easiest way of doing that.
I don't want you
All
to
right,
get
so
a
we just
big
jumped up
head
to a
or
1-star
anything.
park rating, and if you
Trust
look
me,
down there in the
got enough
bottom,
of
you
those
can
around
see
here already,
we
right? But
still have
you are doing
$672,000
pretty
left,
well.
and
The
it just
increase
jumped
in
up to
park rating is
680,000. So
proof.
we're actually making profit now. So at this point, we're pretty solid. We're doing really well. There's just a couple more things we need to do to really cement ourselves in here. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're gonna jump in here real quick. We need to get the paleo medical facility on this particular park. There's going to be snowstorms, and your dinosaurs are going to get frostbite and hypothermia. So we need to get that researching. And we also need to go ahead and throw down a staff center. We haven't made one yet, so you need to be able to let your scientists rest. You don't want them to get overworked. Now, you will occasionally get these little things pop up here. You could potentially go for it. These are up to you. Depends on what you want. I decided to not take the 2 million just because I wanted to prove that this method works without having the luck of getting some $2 million random contract pop up. So we're just going to go ahead and do this. Now, one other small detail here that if you're struggling and you need just a little bit more money, one little trick that I did find, if you just find yourself just a little shy on money and you need just a little bit more, if you take direct control of your ranger team and you drive straight over here to your enclosure, now that you got the Brachiosaur and the Struthiomimus, go ahead and just snap a picture. Now you'll see you get 40,000 from that. Now go ahead and just snap another picture real quick. You still got another like 18, 20,000. If you just spam this and just keep snapping pictures, you see we're still getting like 8,000 for the picture. You can just keep spamming these over and over again. You see you get less each time, but it does kind of add up. It could be enough to just potentially put you over the edge and making like that last little thing that you may have needed. So this is just a small little detail that you can use if you're in like a real pinch. But at this point, if you did everything like I said to and nothing crazy happened, you should actually be pretty well set up. You're just going to want to make sure that you get this paleo medical facility built once it's researched. And then from there, you're basically just going to set up your park the way you would anywhere else. This is going to be the same as basically any other park at this point. You just have to keep an eye on your expenditures. Alright, so we got our paleo medical facility built. I've just kind of put it right here next to the response center. You can put it wherever you want. I'm going to hop in here real quick into our finances and show you. At this point, you should be about 37 to 40,000 profit per minute. Somewhere around in there. It varies a little bit. But you should be in the profit at this point. So you're going to kind of just want to save up a little bit of money. Make sure you have a little bit set back in case an emergency happens. When these snowstorms hit, you are going to lose quite a big chunk of money. So make sure you have a decent little chunk of cash set back just in case, especially if you haven't had a snowstorm in a while. Now, one thing to keep an eye on here too is you have your scientists, and not every scientist has the same price. Some of them cost more per minute than others. You can see we actually timed it well here too because all of our scientists need rested. Our staff center hasn't finished building yet, but once it's finished building, we can rest all of our scientists. Now, if you need to get rid of a scientist, you can click on them and fire them if you just absolutely are running out of money. But you can come in here when you are ready to hire another scientist. One thing to keep an eye on is their cost per minute. In this particular map, on this scenario, the scientists cost way more. Now you can see this guy costs 38,000 per minute, whereas she only costs 8,200 per minute. So you're gonna kind of have to pick and choose. Now this girl, she has 3,600 cost per minute, so she's super cheap. She would be a really good pick right off the bat. Now eventually you might want to swap her out for somebody that's a little better. But right off the bat, what you're really going to want to focus on is if you're going to hire another scientist, you need to be mindful of how much they're actually going to cost you per minute. Because remember, we're only about 40,000 in the profit. We hire that one guy, he takes up all of our profit. Now we're not making any money anymore. But either way, from here, it's going to kind of be up to you what you do. Basically, if you've gotten to this point, you're probably pretty solid. Just continue to save up a little bit of money at a time. Start putting out more of the dinosaurs, and you should be well on your way to getting 5 stars. So, I really, really hope that this helped you guys. And, yeah, I hope you guys are able to complete this, because I know this mission, even though it's the first mission, has been quite the task so far. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what all the rest of them have in store for us, because this mission was a little tough, that's for sure. Alrighty, so thanks for watching today, guys. I really appreciate it. If you guys made it this far, you are awesome. Hopefully this video helped you guys out, and I hope you guys are looking forward to the videos in the future. I'm going to be making one of these for each level going forward, so stay tuned for those. But yeah, have a great day, guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.